views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in this podcast are the content creator's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of Essex County College. The material and information presented here is for entertainment and informative purposes only. It should not be considered as professional advice or a substitute for seeking professional guidance.
Stay feeling. What we said, stay feeling. What we said, ready, set, goals. Ready, set. Ready, set, go. Hello. Good afternoon. It's your girl, Samanta. Welcome to the Stay in Your Lane podcast. Today we have a brief little episode because we have to check in. The month is coming to an end, but before we actually get into it, how are you guys doing? How has March been treating you? Are you doing amazing today? I would love to know. Drop it in the comments. I hope you're doing great. But before I go dive in, you already know it's your Stay in Your Lane, rise, reclaim, and redefine your story, your voice. You owned it. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, please go over to stay_in-your-lane podcast and hit that follow button so you can know when I drop a latest episode. Or you can follow us at SLAOESSEX. That's where all the podcasters actually upload their episodes. So you can not only just check in the Stay in Your Lane podcast, you can check out all the other amazing podcasts that's on there. Okay? So for today, I'm here. Ooh, bomber drop. Guys, I love playing with this board. I literally love playing with it. But I have something to say. Can you guys believe this is our 5th episode since 2026 start? Like, that is just so, I don't know. I was just thinking it today and I'm like, I only recorded 4 episodes since 2026. That's not normal. We're in season 4 and we only have 4 episodes and the month of March is about to be end. Like, what happened? But I do know what happened, I do know. So I'm in my last semester and I just been focusing on this capstone, but that's no excuse. I think that's kind of, but this is no excuse zone and stuff. But as I always tell you guys, sometimes we may get distracted, but as long as you're really focusing on what you need to get done, especially with me being in my last semester, I have to pass my capstone class in order to graduate. And it has really, really been having your girl crazy. But that's a part of the thing that I signed up for, right? And I can't abandon my amazing job that I love, which is podcast. So I have to get back out there for the next few weeks before the semester end and get some guests on so I can hear some story. But I would love to know from you guys, have you accomplished the goals that you have set out for thus far in 2026? Or have you fallen off in any way and feel like, oh my God, I'm not able to pick up back, or oh my God, I let myself down? Drop it in a comment. I would love to hear that. But I'm here to let you guys know you have not fallen off, okay? You have just reorganized and you may have just shifted a little, but it's okay. You can always get back to it as long as you're aware and as long as you recognize what needs to get done. All right, then you can always bring yourself back on that loop. So today I was thinking what I was going to talk about today, and because it's been so long I haven't given you guys any motivational insights and check-ins to make sure that we are really prioritizing ourselves, prioritizing things that needs to get done, and making sure that we're not only staying in our lane, but we're rising, reclaiming, and redefining our story, our lane, our path, our journey, and not beating ourselves up when it comes to feeling like we're missing out on something, or feeling like we fail in an area, or feeling like we haven't achieved what we wanted in a set period of time that we have put out there. So I think I would just start off by catching you guys up on what's been happening the past few months, right? So I think this is like my second personal episode. So the past few months, your girl, I was in a pageant just, that's closed. I did pageant 3 weeks ago. Time is flying. Oh my God. No, pageant was 2 weeks ago. So I did the Northeast International pageant. I represent Miss Essex County again. Clap for that. Yes, a big clap. So I was representing Essex County at the pageant, and it was a great pageant. If you guys haven't known about the Northeast International pageant, go on their Instagram and type Northeast International pageant, and it will pop up. They have different categories. The amazing thing they have for kids that are like 7 years old, they have preteens, they have teen, they have Miss, MISS, they have Ms, and they have Mrs. So there's a category for everyone. And I love how inclusive they are, and they don't make anyone feel like they can't be a part of a pageantry because of age. I don't know about you guys, but there's always been a stigma about pageantry that you have to be pretty, you have to be a certain body type, and that's not all pageant. So every pageant has their different pageant system. They have every organization differ. That's what I'm learning. This is my third pageant. And with all three, I've learned something different. And with all three, they all look for something different from each winner, because at the end of the day, this is a job. This is a job. A winner that win any pageant, you see them with a crown. It's not all about a crown. It's a job within itself. And these women are education. They're very motivating, inspiring young women with making big impacts within the world, within their community, and whatever organization. They all have a movement in giving back. And it's so funny that looking at the outside of pageantry, all we see is just glitz and bling. But when you really enter into the sisterhood, or you really enter, whether you're, because there's a lot of men that's in pageantry, meaning that supporting their sisters, their wife, right? And they themselves may didn't have an understanding. All they see the glitz and glam, but when they actually step foot and realize, wow, this is very impactful, you understand. So when a young lady enter a pageant, depends on which pageant organization. For me, I did Northeast. Northeast is all about sisterhood. They're all about community service, and they're all about your platform, which meaning that your platform is what's going to carry you along with the confidence and the way how you carry yourself. So that is what they focus on. And I think that's what I really love. So of course, my platform was stay in your lane, rise, reclaim, and redefine your story in that area. And I also share about, no, so the homework, okay, good. I also share about, because I'm studying finance, and I'm on this financial journey of understanding, and also teaching my younger and older audience, because I believe that you don't have to be this highly professional to talk about financial literacy, right? I do have a license in life insurance, which I'm trying to bring forth to my community too, because I think there's a big stigma when it comes to life insurance that you have to, you have to pass away in order to use the life insurance, and that's a lie. It's very beneficial, and so we can build wealth. So those two things was the cornerstone of my platform. And I will be honest with you guys, I was nervous. I was definitely nervous in my interview. It was a five table interview. And I think when I started off, I was nervous. My voice was a little shaky. It's so funny. I interview there's so many people, but yet still with me getting interviewed, I always get a little nervous. Why that happen? Does that happen to any one of y'all? It's like a total different, it's just a little different. So for me, I felt like I didn't really project my voice with authority because I was a little nervous. When you're kind of nervous, you feel it's like your voice going to that lower tone and it kind of strain a little. I don't know if you know what I'm talking. I don't know. But instead of talking like in your stomach, like, when you do acting, they train you to talk a particular way. It's like you're talking from your belly bottom, if that makes sense. When I was doing the research, that's what it says. So I felt like that happened, but also I think what happened to me was when I went on that stage. When I went on the stage, they asked me about my you get 30 seconds to talk about your platform. They ask you what is your platform, and you have 30 seconds to sell that to the judges and the audience. If you go over that 30 seconds, you hear the bell, bling a ling. Guess what? I got the bling a ling. I went over and I didn't get to finish, but you know what? You know what happened? What I realized, don't ever feel intimate. If you start something, don't ever change it. Don't ever overthink yourself, and believe in what you started. Believe in what you have. Doesn't matter what anyone else have, right? And I say that to say, because at the pageant, when we were in rehearsal, in the beginning, when we were in our orientation, it started from orientation, where they asked every lady to stand up, introduce themselves, who they are, their platform and everything. While I kept mine short and brief, I was listening to all the other ladies, and all of them, when it comes to their platform, they kind of share a sad story that, is the reason behind their platform. And that's okay, because every platform has a why. You understand? And you want to let everyone know how this platform come about. Whatever you're doing, you always have a how and a why, and like a mission, a vision. So you always want to tell that story. So for me, I always the past I think a month or a year, everyone know that I was in a car accident, and that kind of pushed me in a mental state of where I kind of shut down. And coming to college is the way that really helped me. And then starting this podcast, I use what happened to me to create a safe space for myself and then open it up for others. So there's a story behind it, a character that pivot me to this position where I'm at right now, that pivot me to start this podcast. And that story started from, been a car accident, because I was so busy and everything prior to that. But I felt like it's a sad story, and I felt like I always talk about it, and it's like, yeah, you can talk about it, but don't relive it. So I kind of left that out, kind of leave that out and stuff. And I'm not so good with my English doing, which I'm working on it, because you got to read more. And knowing I'm coming from Jamaica and I have the patois, sometimes broken English I speak, so it kind of me with my accent sometimes, and then the way I talk sometimes it's backward and stuff, but I'm aware, so I have to fix my grammar. So anyway, because I'm getting sidetracked, after listening to all the ladies and their story, when everything was over, I went and I spoke with the Miss New Jersey at the time. Her story was about cancer and stuff, and it was really touching. So I was talking to her and asking her for guidance and stuff, and I'm like, wow, I really like how everyone shared their stories, and it seems like everyone has a sad story, a touching story that, So she said, listen, this is your story, do not cover it and stuff. Like, anything that you want the judges to know, it's you, do what you want to do. So I remember during rehearsal, no, it's time for rehearsal, when we were practicing on stage, walking on stage and everything, I changed. Remember, I had my platform script. I have the mission and the vision, and it's very short. But in my platform script, I have never mentioned about being in a car accident. You understand? I think how I started is Stay in Your Lane. As I Stay in Your Lane is a podcast that I created for safe space for others to share their stories from different background. All right, that's just a short. I think I have the whole script. I'm trying to pull it up so I can let you guys hear it. But through my whole script that I had, it was very short, and it did not have like about the car accident. So trying to alter it and trying to include that little sad story so they can have an understanding of the backstory that pivot me to start the podcast, I ended up suffering. That's how I put it, suffering. Because what ended up happening, I ended up overthinking things. I ended up going over time. I ended up not really making others understand, because whenever you create a brand, you have to believe in your brand first. And if you don't believe in it and have confidence, others is not going to do that. And at time I found myself like wanting to change the name Stay in Your Lane, because I felt like when people hear stay in the lane, they think it's mind your business. That's the stigma towards it, right? Like mind your business, and that's just all about it. But there's a bigger meaning when it comes to my platform. It's stay in your lane, rise, reclaim, and redefine. It's your story, right? How you found your lane, how are you navigating things, right? So it's all about your journey within it all. So it's me needing to own that and really make others understand it, that it's not about just minding your business alone. Yes, you're minding your business by not comparing yourself to somebody else, not comparing your journey to someone else, but it's a positive outlook on it. And I found myself being stuck in wanting to change the name that actually speak. Once you hear the name, you know what it's for, instead of trying to explain deeply. And I think that's where I got lost in that transition. And I have to come back and like, Samantha, you have to get back to your roots of, there's a reason why you actually created this platform. There's a reason. Where did that name came from? Why did that name, why did you actually call your podcast Stay in Your Lane? It took you in a little journey before you actually come up with that name. So you need to believe in it, concrete it, and really just transition the message. So I got lost in that little transition and trying to change things and trying to sound a little sad and trying to put it off, and it ended up costing me. On stage, I was nervous. I didn't finish the question in time. And then when they asked me a follow-up question, I didn't answer the question correctly. I did, but it was just surface level. And it was one of the the question they asked me is literally what my platform is about. Emotional awareness and financial literacy, financial confidence. So the follow-up question they asked was, how does emotional confidence correlate with financial wellness, right? In gaining confidence. So that's what they asked me. In reality, I believe that financial empowerment is not only emotional, it's financial too, right? When we're going through financial crisis, it affects us mentally. And I believe that a part of mental health, a big part is finances, right? Because it's where we are not able to do what we want to do because we feel that we don't have the fun. We're seeing others enjoying life. We're not able to do that. These days you have social media where everybody living the luxury life and doing all these stuff, and you have other young adults young girls and boys that is just on the internet scrolling, seeing others living these lavish lifestyle. And then what happened? That's how they develop that mental health, right? And because they're not able to afford what they're seeing on their screen scrolling. Also in reality, it happened to me when I wasn't financially stable and stuff, and I'm still transitioning. I'm not 100% financially stable, but you have to put yourself in the energy as if you are, because you have to manifest it, right? You can't live in poor mentality or else you're going to be in that mentality. You understand? So I went through a mental crisis. You understand? That happened to me. I had my ex-best friend. She told me off about me with money and all these stuff when I just got in my accident and I wasn't working for like 6 months and stuff. She like went off on me. You understand? And let me know about how I'm broke, this and that and all these stuff. So all those mental crises, emotional crises they all go together. So I think once you are financially stable, it definitely heightens your emotional awareness. It definitely makes you feel more happier. They always say money cannot make you happy. And that's kind of right. But on the other side, it's not. You understand? Because money make a lot of us happy, right? When we're able to do what we want to do. Isn't that amazing? It is, right? So I didn't answer that question correctly. So the moral of the story is stick to your script. Do not change it because you see someone else doing something and you want to implement. Whatever you practice, whatever you're doing, just stick to it. You can tweak it a little if you want, but never change it. Believing in what you're doing, you understand? Because sometimes we start something and we're so close to get a big break, but because we see that it's not working, we just get up and change it, not knowing, no, consistency is key. Consistency, that's going to bring results. And that's what I have to remind myself back again. That's what I have to work on. The believe. When you don't believe in things that you're saying, others won't believe it. You won't believe in what you're doing, and it will show. And that's the area that I have been working on the past months with things. So today is not a long episode. I just come to check in you guys, let you guys know what's going on, and let you guys know that believe in the things that you're doing, believe in your work, and it's not comparing, but don't change it if you're doing something. I hope you guys understand the drift of what I'm saying. But long story short, I came second runner up, which is third place again. My last pageant in November, I end up coming second runner up. And it's so funny because this pageant, I compete with one of the girls that I competed with in my last pageant. That's with USOA. And I placed the same position behind her. She was first runner up and I was second runner up. First runner up is if the winner not able to fulfill their job, then they would take over. And the same, I ended up placing right behind her. So I had to reevaluate and think. It has nothing to do with body, as I tell you guys, because I'm a slim figure. She's much on a thicker side, right? What it has to do with how you talk. I wasn't fully confident and I was nervous, so my voice was shaky. So I took control and blame for the things that went wrong. You understand? I identify it, and it's for me to work on it now. Because the number one thing is, in my other pageant, USOA, there was a certain factor that we were blaming and things like that, right? Because even though I won the hearts of the people, I was wondering why I placed second runner up and I got so many great feedbacks. But now being in this pageant and I'm competing with one of those contestants that I competed in my past pageant, and that was placed above me, and then now we're in the same place, and again she's first runner up again and I'm second runner up again. It just makes me feel like there's something that I'm not doing, and it has nothing to do with body, it has nothing to do with walk, and it has nothing to do with aesthetic, because I gave all of that. Fashion, aesthetic, gown, it all had to do with my interview, because after the pageant finished I asked question. And one of the judges told me that she wasn't able to hear me. I was talking very low, so I needed to project my voice. On stage, my confidence didn't showcase like at the level as theirs, because one, I was nervous, and then my platform was not 100% clear. I didn't answer the question correctly. Time went over. So those things affected my scoring. And it made me realize that there's a lot of work to do, and we don't have to blame others for our mistakes. Just identify where you went wrong, because there's always a reason to why we fail in certain area. And instead of looking outside and blaming everything else, how about we look inside and look at where you went wrong first, and then from there on we will always see the problem. And we can always work on that, not beat yourself up. Because I'll be honest with y'all, I was not sad for this pageant, placing second runner up. And the reason why I wasn't sad is because I identified the problem and I realized it was me. I realized I fell short. I realized there's things that I need to work on. If I'm going to join a next pageant, I know what I need to work on so I can be fully prepared for the next role, in knowing that I'm coming in full force, because I'm working on my weakness and I'm owning them. You understand? And that's what we have to do in this life, and that's what you have to do in everything. So as the month of March come to an end, the semester for me is ending next month, but I will still be here, guys. Yes, you will still hear me on this mic. I'll still be here in Essex County. But what I'm saying is, we're about to go into a new month of April. Whatever you have started and you haven't completed, it's okay. You can go back, identify the problem, and go back and regroup, reorganize, or continue what you haven't done. You understand? And let's just close the month with a bang. April is mental health month. I already have a mental health guest coming on. They are from, let me tell you real quick, Balance, Mind, and Wellness Psychiatry. So balance is key to mental health, wellness, and that is so true. And if you guys know, I'm a Libra and I'm big on balance. Yes, balance is key. So I will be having them on the first week of April. And for April, I'm going to have a lot of interviews. I got to at least close out with at least 15 episodes for them. So I need 10 interviews before the semester finished. That's on the 20th. I need at least 10 interviews. I only did 4 episodes. It's going to be episode 5. That's crazy. It's always 20 episodes or more. That's the goal, 20 episodes. So I'm really behind. So I'm going to see if I could score like 2-3 interviews per day for the next 3 weeks that we have here. But I hope you guys is doing amazing. And I hope this month, March, treated you well. And I hope April would do better. Let's continue to focus. Let's continue to do what we got to do. Stay in our lane. You understand? Focus on what we have to do. And just believing in the things that we're doing. And it's okay to start over, okay? It's fine. It's okay to start over. I'm doing so much better mentally in every way. It's just focusing on these classes, which I'm definitely enjoying in my classes that I'm having. It's very hard, a lot of reading, but I haven't applied myself since I've been in school so much to a course, and I'm very proud of myself, the way I've been studying. And I'm very proud of that. So for all of you out there, be proud of yourself, you understand? Be proud, because it's a cold world out there. I always say, every decision, everything that happened, make sure that you don't blame somebody else, but look within yourself first, because we can make a difference in this world as long as we apply ourselves. All right. So growth is the biggest achiever. All right. So make that difference and be proud of your journey and yourself. And I will definitely see you guys in the next episode. Stay in line. What we said, stay ready, set, go, ready, set, go, go, Ooh, I like that. As I always say, stars unknown, finish unforgettable. Okay, all seek the kingdom, all that you wish for will be granted to you. Believe in yourself, your possibility. And listen, even when you don't believe, just continue believing. Even when you don't believe, just consistency. All right. And remember, discipline beat motivation. And that's something that I have to be telling myself all the time. But I'm proud of you. I see you. Drop a comment. Follow me on Instagram. And have an amazing few more days in the month. And let's make April a great one. I can sing, right? I know. Bye.
This has been a production of the Essex County College Podcast Club. Copyright 2024, all rights reserved.